Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome to the playtest demo for Hard West 2. Though I'd maybe hesitate to call it a sequel. It is thematically similar to the original game. They are both supernatural frontier westerns, but different dev studios, slightly different approaches and styles. That said, it does look promising, so I wanted to give it a closer look, kick the tires and take it out for a spin. You know, it doesn't come up much, but I am a huge fan of frontier westerns, and most variations thereof, supernatural, steampunk, what have you. Space westerns too. So I am always stoked to play a new one. I've actually had the original game on my maybe list for quite some time now. It's just one of those things that predated the channel, so it's harder to justify really spending much time on it. That said, I am clearly just evolving into rambling. That's what happens when I do these unscripted intros. So let's get into this thing, shall we? Gonna try to keep this relatively casual, but we'll see how it goes. Hard West 2 by Ice Code Games and Good Shepherd Publishing. Let's get started. And right off the bat, they're hitting us with a bravado mechanic. This mechanic, though, does seem to imply that they're going for a much more aggressive, fast-paced playstyle. One where they reward risky maneuvers by allowing you to potentially chain an infinite number of actions. At least until you run out of blood to spill.
Any idiot with a gun can rob a bank. Robbing a train? Now that's a real feat. So I got this tip from a guy about a train full of federal gold. Runs by night, minimal crew. Folks call it the ghost train. Some even believe it's haunted. Me? I think it's a pretty good cover. So I've rustled up a posse to go after it. Flynn. Bit on the green side, but probably the smartest of us all. Clearly, I don't keep her around for her fists, but she's got darker talents. The kind that don't bear dwelling on much. Laughing Deer. Don't mind the name. Nothing funny about this one. An exile, even among his own tribe. What he did, I do not know. But I do know what he does, and what he does ain't pretty. Then there's Clive. Kestrel Colt, as the press calls him. Fastest gun in the West, they say. And he don't argue none. He's my protege, and my best friend. Me, I'm Jin Carter, gunslinger, outlaw, first-rate gambler at your service. And very soon, a filthy rich man.
You were right, boss. They barely have any security.
No passengers, too!
I don't like this. Let's call it off.
Go, go, go! Whoever boards the train first gets an extra cut.
And we're right into it. Okay. Interesting that they lead with supernatural elements right off the bat, with Flynn being implied to have some sort of dark magic powers. Normally, you'd start these sort of scenarios with just like a baseline frontier western setting, and then get weird from there. Anyway, yeah, we'll keep the tutorial on for now. I've got a pretty good idea of how this game works. It's pretty much just XCOM light, but this will make it easier to lay it out for y'all at home. Alright, square grid, pretty standard.
I'd rather kill from up close.
Action points. Yes, so this does look to be a pretty standard system. 3 AP per turn, split over movement and attacks. I imagine different weapons have different AP costs. And of course, as aforementioned, you can instantly refill your action points by dropping an opponent. Directional half and full cover system. Again, pretty standard, very XCOM light. Bye, horse. Camera controls, yes. WASD, Q and E, mouse wheel. Gotcha. Move Flynn up behind this pile of crates. That feels like a terrible move. That'll put 3 people on our flank. But I am beholden to follow the word of the tutorial, I guess. Okay. Have fun dying, Flynn.
All right, let's do this by the book.
Hit points. Right, very standard. Also, our guys better hope that this job is worth at least 4 horses, because those things are not cheap. Assuming this is the late 1800s, those things are about $200 a pop, which would equate to roughly $4,000 in modern standards. $16,000 for the whole posse. Also, I'm noticing our 2 hits here are all in 50% increments. A bit simplistic for my tastes, but, I mean, serviceable, I guess. Guaranteed hits on flanked targets. A coin toss on targets in cover.
Eyes on the prize. Damn, I'm good. Who's next?
There's our tutorial on bravado, which we already know about. And it's a good thing we're triggering that, because firing our weapon appears to take all of our action points. Oh, no. Sidearms take 2. Okay, so long rifles 3, pistols 2.
Shit, hey, Kestrel, how about we give the boneyard maneuver a try?
I don't know what that is. Okay, the tutorial is telling me about bullseyes, which does sound like some sort of randomized crit mechanic. Yes, that's what it appears to be. A chance to inflict double damage with revolvers. Ah, there we go. Yes, so again, your basic crit mechanic. A small chance to inflict extra damage per shot. In this case, 15%.
Is this really a good time to be showing off?
Dude, you just told him to do it, and now you're chiding him for doing it?
Sure. Guess I'll play along. Let me see. What do we have here?
Ah, yeah, the ricochet mechanic. Trick shots. Those were back in the original game as well, though I think you had to jump through some hoops to unlock them back there. I guess it's just default now. I wonder if bad guys can do that too. Enemies, that is. I do get the distinct impression that we might be the bad guys here.
On it. Ain't nothing can stop me. Right between the eyes.
Right between the eyes. Luck. Looks to be a mechanic designed to help mitigate miss streaks. Kind of like how default for Axis XCOM used to start weighting your rolls if you missed too much, just to keep you from getting too frustrated. Though this one wears it on its sleeve. It was a hidden mechanic back in back in the Firaxis games, which was a minor controversy at the time. Also, it looks like our hit chances are in increments of 25%. So really, it's more akin to Mutant Year Zero and Corruption 2029, as opposed to the Firaxis XCOMs. Oh, there's our horses. They've come back with reinforcements. Yeah, I'd be pretty miffed too if someone just dumped me by a railroad track. Interesting. So luck expenditure is manual. Okay.
Looking for trouble?
Oh, hell. Time to duck.
Oh, right. Swap weapon sets. Gotcha. And there's our classic shotgun cone. Very nice.
I'll try. This shotgun kicks like a mule.
Less damage individually than a revolver, but more damage collectively on multiple targets.
That's how a real warrior fights.
Let's get rid of these guards.
Oh, and they're cutting us loose. Okay. Fair enough. I guess we've learned all we need to know. Let's rob us a train.
You are wise to fear me.
I guess you'd call this on-the-job training. Oh, that's fun. Apparently, if we just jump off the train, our horse will automatically appear to catch us.
Easy money.
Alright, Carter, we should probably start moving you up on this train.
Showtime.
Okay, so who do we have left? We have Kestrel Colt and Leaping Deer. I can work with that.
Sure. Dibs. Fastest gun in the West. No way.
It's funny, you know. I actually ran a bunch of Frontier Western campaigns back in the day. Mostly Deadlands, but sometimes some other stuff. But just in playing this tutorial, I find myself calculating the net worth of the gear being carried by these random mooks that we're shooting down. Tabulating up the relative salvage value we could be getting from guns and horses and other carried gear, and weighing it against whatever the nebulous value of our prize on this train might be. I mean, hey, that stuff all adds up. You have to factor that in when you're designing a tabletop adventure.
What's the play?
We're talking 15 to 20 bucks per revolver here, up to 50 for most standard rifles. 200 bucks per horse, plus carried valuables. Most folks are going to have a few knickknacks. that bandits certainly wouldn't mind helping themselves to. Man, I do miss running games sometimes. I just don't have the time or the dedicated player base for it anymore.
Need someone dead.
So this is what I do with my spare time instead. Die, please. Nice. I was a bit concerned when I saw that Leaping Deer didn't have a revolver like the rest of the party. But,
Right.
I can certainly see the appeal now of his melee-centric build. Low damage per individual attack, but guaranteed hits. So as long as enemies have less than 9 hit points total, that makes it very easy to predict chaining attacks like that. Which I imagine will eventually be complicated further by better weapons, higher crit chances, tougher enemies, and so on.
One and only. All right, all right.
We already saw a few who had 10 or 15 hit points, and different types of weapon loadouts. So I imagine the game will continue along that trend as you go deeper and deeper into it, especially once things start getting weird.
A tunnel?
There were no tunnels here on the map.
Someone, get away! I can't see anything!
Oh, wait. Can you hear that?
What the hell is happening? What is this?
Stay calm.
Where the hell are we?
I said stay calm, God damn it.
Oh my. Okay, so I would say that things just got slightly weird.
What's the play?
These guys look to be slightly tougher. 8 hit points apiece. Plentiful cover, but also lots of objects to ricochet bullets off of. Let's set this up so Deer can run right down the middle, chain kill all these guys at once.
Just point.
Oh shoot, I didn't account for movement cost. We'll have to soften that last guy up.
Easy.
There we go.
Awa.
And that'll do. Thank you, my dear. Let's group up on that door. I like the design on this weird train. It reminds me of the of the walking engines,
Yeah?
the vehicle designs from A House of Many Doors. Another game I've perpetually had on my to-do list, but one that doesn't really translate well to YouTube videos, so I keep putting it off. Great story in that game, though. Not the best visually engaging experience, but I do love the writing.
Just point. Ready, like always.
Looking for trouble?
All right, let's see if this locomotive pays off.
My guests, finally here.
Oh, I see. This is some sort of soul train. I can dig it. That guy's rocking 30 hit points. That's going to take some whittling. Not off to a great start on the boss fight. Who's next?
I'm ready.
It's a shame there's no Overwatch mechanic. But I mean, I guess that makes sense, given
Need someone dead.
given their relative focus on
Oh,
keeping things moving.
I hear my name.
I guess hunker down back here for a moment. We don't know what this guy does just yet. That's interesting. You can just leave luck toggled. It'll auto-spend points as needed.
Closer, I don't fight. Who's calling?
right. Set me loose.
Still have no idea what this guy does, but I guess we'll just start wailing on him.
Let's do this.
Oh, you got me. Oh, but what is this? The villain returns from the grave. Step right up, step right up. Welcome to my mirror shop.
Oh, I see. Yes, that is slightly problematic. Are we supposed to win this fight? Okay. Either I just got really lucky with my first attack and clocked a real mammon,
Impossible.
or all of these guys really have 30 hit points. Let's maybe run some tests real quick. Okay, let's not do that.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, that works.
Steady.
Wrong again.
Hey, look at that. So we did just get really lucky with our first attack. Alright, let's do this. The copies drop in one shot, and they do refill our action points. So we can use that to our advantage.
One and only. Eyes on the prize.
This one? What thing?
Let's dance.
Wrong again.
I'm ready. Yeah! On it. Ain't nothing can stop me.
Not this time.
Nice, nice. Oh, and let's shuffle you behind
Sure.
cover before we do this.
Die!
We're gonna take a hit.
I'm coming for you.
Oh, that wasn't too bad. He summoned a Hellspawn, did some sort of cone attack. But, yeah, we've got him. Unless, of course, he has even more phases.
Looking for trouble?
Yeah, let's go ahead and gun him down. See if that ends this.
I got this one.
Nice.
My, such bravado.
What the hell?
Oh, don't be so surprised, Mr. Carter. I am a devil after all.
Who do you think you are?
The name's Mammon. Thanks for asking. I really have guests here. There's just no one fresh to play with.
You like games, Mammon? Then how about a hand of poker? I win, you let us go and throw something in for our trouble. We lose? Well, it's your call.
So greedy, I'd love it. I'll tell you what. How about I toss in the Ghost Engine? Just imagine all this power. It can make your wildest dreams come true. Win, and I give it to you. Lose, and your souls are mine.
You want our souls? Yeah, sure. Knock yourself out.
Our souls, Jen? What the hell?
Shall I deal?
We're using my deck.
Remember, Mr. Carter, one deal. High hand wins. Are you ready?
Let's get to it then.
Yes, that's right! Read 'em and weep, devil!
If you think that will make a difference.
And the winner takes all!
You really think you could out-cheat me?
Five of a kind!
No, no, no,
What?
no!
This is some kind of a
No!
trick. I don't even have a Joker in my deck.
Now it's time to cash in those chips.
Hold on!
Okay, you know, look, I get this is just a demo and they're eager to get into the meat of the campaign, but that felt pretty forced. Carter just busting out a poker deck and challenging Mammon to a hand of cards, and then Mammon just like needlessly raising the stakes and cheating immediately. That's it. I'm not going to pretend that your average spaghetti western had the most intricate of plots. So by that standard, I guess they're fine. I mean, they clearly had an end goal in mind, and this was all just fluff to get to that point. So yeah, I mean, perhaps not the best paced or most logical of stories I've seen, but serviceable for this particular purpose. Let us proceed.
Wake the hell up, Jen! Come on! Open your eyes!
Oh, and I guess I'm on. I got to my feet, feeling strangely light. Empty. Cold. Not just on the outside, but through and through. I spotted 3 saddled horses nearby, huddling together to keep warm. What happened?
I got us out. That's what happened. Now get up. We need to move.
It is weird that they're voicing Flynn, but they are not voicing Jin, even though he was voiced in the previous scenes. Maybe they just haven't finished recording all the lines or something. We'll have to see how they treat other characters moving forward, I guess. I mean, I guess I could see them leaving it deliberately unvoiced, because it's our main, but normally that would be if you make your own main character, like a custom character. But that's fine, I'm certainly no stranger to reading dialogue. So, where'd you get the horses?
You want to look them in their mouths? Do it later. Now let's move. We can't stay in the snow. We need shelter.
Sounds good to me. Let's go. Flynn was trying to sound brave, but I'd never seen her so scared. And this snow. Snow? In June? In New Mexico?
Let's look for shelter.
Hey, world map mode. Always fun. The first game had world maps too. I always enjoyed exploring those. The story was pretty linear, but letting the player roam a bit did give them a better sense of control.
I think my nose is frostbitten.
We stumbled upon remnants of a camping site. The tents were ripped to shreds, the fire reduced to a pile of smoking embers. So that's where the horses came from. Oh, and now she's not voiced. I think you're right. Whoever camped here came a little too close to the ghost train's path. They're probably long gone now. Maybe they only voice key scenes. I shivered. Come on, let's keep moving.
We can't stay out here. We'll freeze.
Camp mechanic, nice. We can use that to rest and chat with our companions. Let's try that. We set up camp in the snow and gathered round the fire. We could hear the wind howling around us like a heartbroken banshee. Even our horses huddled closer together. Flynn sat there alone, staring at the fire. I sat beside her. For some time I was wrestling with myself. There was something deeply wrong with me. I could feel it. I gotta say, I'm grateful you saved my ass back there, but I think there's something wrong with me. Wrong? What do you mean? I don't know. I feel strange. Different. This thing Mammon did to me in Kestrel, it hurt like hell. Like someone was pulling the marrow out of my bones. What, do you know that from experience, or... Also, why just Jin and Kestrel? Why not the whole gang?
This Mammon, he spoke of souls, didn't he? I think whatever he wanted to do to us, especially what he did to you and Kestrel, well, I think he did just that.
And she's back. I do not like how inconsistent that is. But again, demo. Might be evened out in the full launch. So what, you think he took my soul?
You really are something else, Jin. You're so goddamn blind to everything that's not under your control that you can't see shit. Look behind you, asshole. You're casting no shadow.
Wow, harsh. You really gonna talk like that to someone who just had their soul ripped out? I feel like that was a slight overreaction to my modest level of snark. Have some compassion. She stoked the fire, and the flames grew brighter for a moment. I turned to look behind me, and it took a moment before it hit me. She was right. There was nothing where my shadow should have been. As far as the fire was concerned, it was like I wasn't even there.
No one cares if you believe in a soul or not. The name doesn't matter. It's not just you. I feel strange too. I still have a shadow, but it's looking damn ragged. Whatever Mammon did to us in the ghost train, he hurt all of us. But you and Kestrel, you got the worst of it. When it comes to shadows, you lost it all.
Glenn, I can't help but notice that your spoken dialogue doesn't actually match the transcript there. Please refrain from ad-libbing. You are going to confound and enrage me. I was rendered speechless. No, I wasn't. Alright, well, that got us some partially voiced plot exposition. But it looks like we can't rest just yet, so on we go.
Ooh, my lashes are freezing over.
Okay, so interactive locations have yellow markers above them.
Where did all
That's
this
helpful.
snow come from? I always pictured hell as a whole lot warmer.
A close encounter with a ghost train left this shack in a shambles. Half of it was missing, and what remained was barely standing. Searching the ruins would be risky. There's got to be something worthwhile around here. The things we found, hunting trophies, dull skinning knives, rusty snares, suggested the hut had belonged to a hunter, but they were useless to us. After finding a whole half-eagle coin, we gave up and decided to abandon the hut to look for a better shelter. Oh man, gold eagles. From back in the day before gold was like
We should keep
$2,000 an ounce.
Let's go there. Oh, this wind will be our death. Yeah.
Oh, this fucking cold.
You guys are really chatty on the world map. I'm not sure I like that. Abandoned farm. The building offered little shelter, but we'd managed to start a small fire. It was better than nothing. Suddenly, we heard a muffled thump coming from a low mound, sitting under a cockeyed cross right beside the broken fence. The sky was dark, but the snow gave the night enough of a glow that we could see we're alone out there. We stood above the restless grave. Thump. 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 Flynn looked at me.
Jen, I want you to think very carefully about what you're about to do now.
Fair enough, Flynn. I feel like we are due some caution after what we've been through. And yet, apparently it is fate. Come on, would you even be able to sleep tonight if we didn't dig up whatever the hell this is? We just need to be careful, like.
I'd sleep perfectly well. I hate you, Jen Carter.
That is also fair. We searched the farm. Once we found a pair of shovels, we started digging. We were at it for half an hour or so, when the thumping intensified. Then, just as we unearthed the lid of a crude pine coffin, it stopped.
Hello?
A pale fist punched a hole through the coffin's lid. Splinters flew around us, and the stench of a stale tomb billowed into the cold air. We recoiled, drew our guns, and leveled them at the hand.
What in tarnation?
More loud cracks and grunts broke the wintry silence, and soon a man rose from the grave, his skin pale and sickly, his clothes covered in dust.
Why am I here? What did you do?
The dead man hauled himself out of his grave. His mouth creaked open, and a dry cough produced a small cloud of dust. He raised a finger at us as he spoke with a voice like a rusty nail scraping bone. It's all yours, Flynn.
You'd better watch where you're pointing that rotten finger. We helped you, jackass. We dug you up.
I took a step back, giving Flynn some space. The undead thing grunted and trudged toward the house. We decided to follow. Inside, the stranger inspected every room, nook, and cranny. He grunted and coughed his way through the place, his methodical movements betraying a peculiar strength and purpose. He towered above us, and yet we still couldn't see his eyes when he finally turned toward us again.
Guns! I need guns!
Now hold up there, partner. Who exactly are you?
Back in my breathing days, folks called me Old Man Bill. I've seen everything. Done everything the West has to offer. I've been an outlaw, a thief, a sheriff, a bounty hunter, hell, even an exorcist for a while.
Neat.
And now I'm this. Whatever this is.
Yeah, that does seem, kind of harrowing. How'd you end up like this?
One day, I just woke up in that pine box buried in my yard. At first I thought I'd been dreaming. I remembered this vision of a train of death, driven by the devil himself, and chugging its way straight to hell. When he spotted me, he started to laugh. Laughed so hard, he woke me up. When I realized I was trapped, I started hitting on the coffin's lid, trying to break free. It didn't hurt none. And being already dead, I wasn't afraid of dying. I just knew I needed to get free.
Okay, intriguing. I do like the pacing and the prose better, now that we're past the tutorial.
I don't know how long I was down there. An hour, a day, a week. The next thing I remember was the sounds of shovels, of you digging, and then I broke through.
Well, I am happy to help. Bill, right? So where are you headed off to next?
I'm gonna get some guns.
Gonna track down the devil who woke me up. Gonna get him good. Then I'm gonna lay me back down.
The Revenant shrugged. Dust spilled from his shoulders onto the floor.
Listen, we know that devil of yours, and he's one tough son of a bitch. Name's Mammon, and he's done us wrong too. If you're gunning for him, I reckon we should maybe ride together, at least for a few days.
And welcome back, Jen.
You got yourself a deal. For now. Mister?
Jen Carter. This here's Flynn.
Whatever you say, kids. Call me Bill. Look, years ago, I stashed some equipment in an old hunting shack east of here. Let's wait out the blizzard. See if my stuff's still there.
Well, thankfully, by a sheer twist of fate, we just happen to have an extra horse for you, Mr. Bill. Welcome aboard. How terribly convenient. Side quests. Okay, let's go get this man some guns.
We're lost, aren't we?
Shield your eyes, so the snow don't blind you.
So, Bill, what exactly are we looking for out here? Oh, and Bill's gone. Guns. Beneath the floorboards, I think. Plus some whiskey stashed in the cellar. And dynamite? Yeah, tucked up under the roof. That's a damn mess. Getting anything out of there without bringing it down on our heads would be one hell of a feat. The girl's right. I'll grab the guns first, and then... Any preferences? Okay, so pretty straightforward. Oh, okay, here we go. Whiskey is our basic low-end healing item. And dynamite is, of course, a consumable area attack. At this stage, I think we'll go for the healing. I never say no to whiskey. While we stood safely outside the shack, our new undead pal went rummaging through the debris. The place creaked and moaned in protest. It wasn't going to hold up much longer. Just as Flynn predicted, the busted-down hut collapsed, burying Bill beneath piles of broken timber. We stood there and gaped at the ruins, shocked that we'd lost the old man so sudden like that. Just as I was opening my mouth to say a few words over his new grave, that tough son of a gun crawled up from the wreck like it was nothing. He handed us the loot with a scowl. Goddamn termites. Gotta say, that was pretty slick, old man. Bill didn't say a word. He just gave me a nod as we mounted up and rode off. Fair enough. Alright, let's, Yep. Let's have a look at what we got here. Looks to be a pretty straightforward assortment of basics. 1 rifle, 1 shotgun, 3 healing items. Oh, and we lost our old rifle. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense given that first part was just a tutorial. We'll go ahead and parcel out the whiskey, 1 for each character. Hopefully Bill can benefit from it. Oh, and he's got some dynamite, nice. And we've all got dirty copper revolvers. Those would be very inconvenient to maintain. That'll do for now. And, you know what? We are past time. And I do have some other projects in the queue, so I think this is a good place to call it. For now. I am enjoying this, though. Despite the hiccups on some of the writing stuff and the voicing, and the fact that it is a fairly casual tactical game, like a blend between Mutant Year Zero and Firaxis' XCOM, I do like it. It's a fairly solid, if somewhat simplistic tactical experience. It has an interesting story and setting. I like the art. The music is on point. You can't really go wrong with most spaghetti western music. So I'll tell you what, we'll hit the pause button for now, but we will pick up here next time. We'll make a little mini-series of it. 2 or 3 episodes long, however many episodes it takes to get through this thing. I would like to see where it goes. And, of course, feel free to share your own thoughts and feedback in the comments below. See you next time. Oh, and remember, although I do enjoy playing this Hard West 2 demo, you can find out more about the full game by taking a gander at the official websites. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon or newfangled YouTube memberships. As always, links are in that there description.
If you think that will make a difference,